Hello and welcome to another episode of Simply Saturday, where I get to show you a card that is fast and easy to make. My name is Julie and this is Stamp with Julie Baum. The products that I'm going to be showing you today are very cute, and I'm choosing to use some kind of non-traditional colors, only in that I'm doing a Christmas card that is not red and green. We're going to use these blues and white. And I also want to mention that the stamp set, which is called Beary Cute, and I'll correct myself, it's actually the bundle. So the Beary Cute stamp set and the coordinating punch are items that have been so super popular that they have sold out, but they are coming back into stock on November 6th, which from the air date of this video is only 2 days away. So if you are just going to fall in love with these products, I would encourage you to go to my online store first thing on November 6th and get your order in. I feel like there is the danger of these selling out again. So with that said, at the end of today's video, I'll show you a couple of other cards made with different papers and stamp sets, but right now we're going to jump in and use these products that I have introduced to you. So the paper that I'm using for the card is from Beary Cute, which, by the way, the paper is also sold out, but is coming back soon, I think on the 6th as well. So the paper that I'm showing you is Beary Cute 12 by 12 paper. All right, now we're going to start with a Night of Navy card base. And my card base is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And I've already scored it for the fold down the middle at 4 1/4. So there's our card base. I have a piece of basic white cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I have a second piece, and this will be for the inside of the card. All right, so to get started, you're going to take your 2 pieces of designer series paper, and I've chosen these 2 prints. The back side, this one was like a large scene paper, so when I cut a piece of it, it just kind of looks like a dark starry sky. And so this side is the piece I'm going to be using. These 2 papers should coordinate nicely together like mine do. And they should be cut about 5 inches by 4 inches. So I said about because you need enough to cover your card front. We are going to trim away, and so there's going to be a little bit of waste, but not too much. So you might be able to get by with a tiny bit smaller piece, but not much smaller, or you're going to run out. Okay, and then I have a third piece, and I actually did use a piece of that here. So this is, you know, I did some of these cards with 1/4 inch, and I did some with 3/8. So the card I'm going to show you right now is 3/8 of an inch by 5 inches. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our white cardstock. This is actually going to be a panel on the very front of the card. And we're going to put our 2 papers at an angle, like a diagonal, one at the bottom and one at the top. And you can choose, obviously, which one you want to use. Either the heavier print at the bottom and maybe the more subtle print at the top, or reversed. And when I show you the other samples at the end of this video, you'll see 2 different ways, okay? So on this one, I'm gonna use this heavier, darker print at the bottom, and then this slightly more subtle print at the top. So once I have laid this down, the only thing that I need to be concerned with is that I have covered all of the edges of my white cardstock. You don't want to come up so high that you have cardstock peeking out down here. Okay, let me slide this up a little bit more. So you don't want any cardstock peeking out down here. So I want to make sure, or here, I want to make sure that those corners are covered. Once those are covered, then how much you're leaving for the second paper is kind of up to you. You have a little bit of wiggle room if you want a smaller area, or I'm going to try to go about halvesies. So I'm going to decide that this paper is going to end right there. So I'm just going to take a pencil, and I had a good pencil here a minute ago. All right, this one will work. I really like those retractable pencils. I like those a lot. Okay, so all I'm going to do is make a light pencil mark right at the edge here. That's where I want this paper to go. The reason I'm going to do that is because this makes it fast and easy for me to add my glue. I can glue this whole section now right up to that pencil line. So I'm going to add my glue. And I do want to get right to the edges because my designer paper is going to cover this piece of basic white cardstock entirely, all the way to the edges. So I do want to make sure that there's adhesive right out to the edge. Okay, now I can lay my paper and I don't have to think about it now because I have a pencil mark. All I have to do is go back to that pencil mark. And I know that I'm going to be fine with all of my edges of the white cardstock below covered. All right, press that into place. Okay, now we're going to repeat our process. We don't need to make a pencil mark this time because this one's already in place. So I'm going to take my glue right up to the edge, all around the perimeter, right up to the edge. You notice I'm using a very thin line of glue because I don't want it to ooze out and make my project sticky. And then a little squiggle in the middle and that will hold it. Okay, now I bring in that second paper and I'm going to line it up right next to it. You want to just make sure that all your white cardstock is covered, as mine is, and press that into place. Now, I know that you're going to love this layout and you're going to want to make a bunch of these cards with all different kinds of paper. And remember, this does not have to be a Christmas card. 2 birthday papers, 2 Valentine papers, 2 generic papers, whatever you want to use. This is going to make just a wonderful looking card. All right, then we're going to take our third piece, that little strip, and this is going to go across the seam. So all I need to really do, now look, it's kind of funny because it looks like it's going to be this way, but see, our card is going to be like this. Our papers are going to be at the angle. So all we need to do is glue this piece on, covering the seam, and your 5-inch length will be long enough for any little discrepancies. Okay, so I'm matching it up with one of the papers. I'm matching it up with this dark paper right over the middle of the seam, and then this edge is hanging off. All right, the hard part is done. Glue, glue, and glue. Now we're going to take some scissors, and when I'm cutting a large space like this, I like to use a larger pair of scissors. So I'm just going to grab regular but nice sharp scissors and flip this over now, and we're going to trim the excess right up against the white cardstock. So like I said, we're going to have some scrap or some waste, but not too much. You could get by with a slightly smaller dimension of this paper, but not much. So you need it to hang well off the edges so that you have coverage. I might also mention, because this paper is going to serve as the backdrop, I mean, it is the front of the card. It's the focal point, but it's kind of the backdrop to your decoration and your sentiment. So if it's maybe not your very favorite paper, this is a good way to kind of use it up. And you won't even mind if there's some scrap that doesn't get used. All right, and then this edge right there, when I was cutting before, I was cutting through a couple of layers, and that's why I paused for a minute just to make sure my scissors right here were going through, and I was able to get right up to the white. There, that's a little better. Okay, and then this final edge, of course, after cutting this, there's a good chance that my scissors are going to be a little sticky because they cut through the glue. So remember, that is a great time to grab one of your alcohol prep pads that I talk about all the time and just give your scissors a quick cleaning. All right, so we've got our edges removed. Our card is now ready. Look at how cute that layout is with those pretty, pretty papers. This piece is now going to get mounted to our card base. All right, so this is going to go in place. Then we'll put the inside panel on the inside, and all we have left to do is decorate our front with some elements or some words or some embellishments. We'll decide. All right, there we have the front of the card. Let's put the inside in. I told you this piece was 4 by 5 1/4. I went ahead and took a scrap of this paper that is a 1/4 inch wide. Maybe I did this 3/8 also. 3/8. So a 1/4 or 3 inch. I just added it there as a little accent, and that's going to go inside here. You know, these little accent papers that you put on the inside, there's not really a rule. You could do a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch. 3/8 is a nice size. All right, so that is a nice way to finish the inside. And you have plenty of space to either stamp additional words here or just write your message. Okay, let's fix up the front. What I've done is I have die cut 2 circles. Now these are from my very favorite set of dies currently. These are the Stylish Shapes dies. And they're my favorite because the different size circles and squares and also these banner shapes just come in so handy so much of the time. If there was one set of dies that I had to, you know, just pick, this would definitely be the one. So I've got a balmy blue circle cut from one of those dies and a white circle from a little bit smaller. I'm going to go ahead and stamp on here using Night of Navy ink and the stamp that says Warm Wishes from the Beary Cute stamp set. And that is all you would need to do. It's very clean and cute, but because we can, let's go ahead and add a few snowflakes with balmy blue. And I'll bring a scrap paper in here, just so I can kind of stamp off of the edges. So just a couple of snowflakes. Cute. All right, now we're going to attach the stamped white circle to the balmy blue circle. So let's do that. All right, now at the end of the video, if I haven't mentioned, I'm going to show you a couple of other examples with different papers and different stamp sets. And for the most part, what I did was feature the words and then maybe some ribbon and embellishments. But on this one, we're going to add a little stamped image in addition to this onto the front of our card. So this is roughly going to go somewhere like that. But what I want to do is use this cute bear stamp that coordinates with the punch in the bundle. So I'm going to take a scrap of white cardstock and I'm going to stamp my bear in Night of Navy. And it's just going to give me the outline. So it's basically going to be a white bear. And let's punch that out. All right, so with the punch, you want to use it upside down so you can see what you're doing, of course. Line up the image. You can see right where it's going to punch, like so, and punch. All right, so let's see where our little pieces are going to go. Our Warm Wishes is going to go here. I think we'll put our bear here. The plain white bear looks really good against that busy background. And then we will just add some embellishments and we're done. Fast and easy. All right, so I'm going to add the bear flat. And then we'll pop up our greeting with a couple of dimensionals. At the end, when I do show you the other cards, I'm going to show you this exact card, but done without the stamped and punched bear, so that if you only got the stamp set and did not have the punch, you could do the other version that just features the words and some ribbon and embellishments. But I do think that this is really cute with the bear. All right, and a couple of dimensionals on the back of this. So I'll use 3, that'll hold just fine. We'll get this into place. And then the little embellishments that I would like to use bring some sparkle to our project. So, you know, the bear might be really cute with a scarf or a hat. You can just imagine. I'm going to stop because this is a fast and easy card, but you could take this another level if you wanted. All right, I'm showing you the adhesive backed glitter sequins. These are in the holiday mini catalog or the September to December mini catalog. These two have not been only my favorite, but a lot of people's favorite. So these have sold out, but are due back in on November 13th. And the blue, white, and green glittery colors are going to carry over very well to lots of other projects after the holidays. But this is in that mini catalog. So I'm going to use a couple of white ones. And I think I will... I'm thinking about my placement. I think I want one right here on the tag. I like the sparkle that that brings. And then maybe one on this strip of DSP that's a little bit plain. It's got some little white stars and so forth, but let's add some sparkle there. And maybe down here. All right. Fast and easy, very simple. And as I mentioned, on the inside of the card, you can certainly have that little strip. I also did one with the other paper, so you can see you got 2 different designs on the inside. And then let me show you the other examples. Okay, so as I said, we have this one. Then I made one without the bear stamp and the punch. So this one here instead has some of this balmy blue velvety glitter ribbon. That's beautiful. So I did that on this one. Then I took the same blue and bear idea and I used paper from A Walk in the Forest. So this paper is not sold out, and this paper is one of my favorites also. It's a very attractive package of 12 by 12 designer series paper. So on this one, I used the bear print and the little snowflakes. This one I kind of like because it's got Pretty Peacock is one of the colors in the paper, and it kind of takes it another level with that kind of blue-green color. I just think it's really pretty. On the inside, I did a few simple snowflakes on this one. This ribbon, if you're happening to notice, is a retired ribbon from a while back. I had some, and when I realized that the brown matched the bear and the Pretty Peacock was the right color, I really got excited. So I used it on that one. Then I went back to my typical red and green for Christmas. The paper used on these 2 cards is from a retired paper called Painted Christmas. You might have some left from last year. And I did the same process with 2 prints and a 3rd coordinating print for that little seam piece that goes over the middle. On this one, the feature is just the stamped image and some ribbon and embellishments. And on this one, I actually did a die cut of that bow. And then I used the long banner shape from Stylish Shapes. So this one, I've got a little strip of paper. This one I think I left blank. So you could decide what you wanted to do if you don't want to leave it blank. So there are our card designs. This is the one that we made today in Simply Saturday. I thank you so very, very much for watching today. And I want to tell you that, as always, I will leave a list of helpful information and also a current host code in the description box below this video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy stamping!